Boy, I tell you what, it's been quite a day in the Joshua Young trial. The jury has been picked. Lawyers have started making their case, but we start with breaking news. Our first look at the police investigation report. Our resident detective, Mike Brooks, has actually been poring all over it. And, Mike, what did you find out?
Well, can I tell you, this report from the Louisville Metro Police, it has some of the statements of the first people that law enforcement spoke to and kind of gives us a better idea of the timeline of when Trey Zwicker's body was found near the school. Take a listen. 6 p.m., May 10th, 2011, the day before Trey's body was found. Trey played basketball with a friend and Joshua Gowker. The friend states they played for about an hour. No witnesses have been able to account for Trey's whereabouts after that time. 9:45, May 11, 2011. Mr. Hurley, a Liberty High School teacher, took his students for a break. They walked out of the back of the school. The kids noticed graffiti on the walls outside the school, but did not see a body, which would have been 20 yards away from where Trey was discovered. But nearly 3 hours later, at approximately 1 p.m., another teacher, Mrs. Varner, also took her students out for a walk. One of the students yelled, "There's a dead body!" Mr. Arnold, the school security guard, called 911 at 1:16 p.m.
All right, let's talk about the police report, Mike, shall we, with our Ashley Merchant, our own Christy Paul, also Dr. John Sharp joining us via Los Angeles. There you go. In case you want to go over exact verbiage. What do you make of this?
I tell you, it gives us a better timeline and, you know, exactly right where the body was found. Apparently it was down an embankment. And we heard that one teacher had gone out for a break, and they saw some graffiti, but they were about 10 to 20 yards, Kier, from where the body was. And then that other teacher, Ms. Varner, went out, and she said, one of her students yelled, "There's a body," and she thought the student was messing around, so they looked down and actually did see the body.
Let's talk about why the timeline is so important, Ashley.
Well, it's so important because they're trying to put this child basically in the scheme and say that he contributed somehow and that he was part of the conspiracy. So it matters because if he wasn't and wasn't part of it, then their case is done, really.
And then during the canvass, they did an initial neighborhood canvass, and part of the report, it has that one of the officers did speak with someone, and that's the person who was playing basketball with Trey, and they had last seen around 6 p.m.
Dr. Sharp, you've been following this case. We have talked so much about this family dynamic. We're going to go more in depth a little later in the show. But just your first reaction to what we're finding out today, and also this little boy in his, well, he's not really little anymore, but his mental state.
Well, my first reaction is a big question. Like when Ashley was saying, you know, was he in the scene? I think the question to my mind is, was the scene in him? In other words, was he so overtaken by his father for some reasons that we can discuss that he was actually willing to be complicit, or was he actually a kind of victim of this whole mess of dynamics as well?